Hello, dear ones. Greetings, greetings. This is Britta here, coming to you Monday afternoon. It's a beautiful, balmy, warm but blustery day here in Santa Barbara. It definitely feels like springtime. I'm in the lovely outdoors, so you could probably hear some birds and some wind and all that good stuff. So I'm coming to you today with a little masterclass for you on what I am calling high vibe health. And as most of you know, I work in holistic health as a coach, and I help people with any number of things: losing weight, gaining energy without stimulants, getting off of prescriptions, getting better night's sleep, lowering inflammation, figuring out what to eat and bringing mindfulness into their eating. And all of this is really to feel better in our daily lives and to feel, really more able to do our work in the world. That's really the purpose behind what I do, because it's not enough to lose weight. That's not a goal in and of itself. Most of us want to get healthy because of our purpose, because of the thing that really moves us. So high vibe health, it's going beyond the simplicity of I'm changing my diet, I'm getting more exercise, blah, blah, blah. Who is so sick of that? I am. It's not enough. And, I wrote a little article on this today, and if you don't get my newsletter, please hit me up and give me your email, and I'll happily send you this article I wrote. But really, I feel like as long as we're in the schlepping through the mud of simply focusing on health for the sake of, getting in a smaller pair of pants, or looking better on the outside, it's always going to be like an uphill, needlessly sweaty, arduous journey. And it doesn't have to be that way. So, high vibe health. So what does that even mean? I just am coming off of a 4-day women's Kundalini yoga retreat. And so I'm feeling really high vibration now myself. And that's not to say that I'm not still feeling, of course, the stresses of the world. I drove home in horrendous traffic, and it really was such a beautiful moment of oh, right, I'm not enlightened yet. But it's good. It's really good. I'm welcoming all of that. And so I was inspired this weekend to bring this series to you all. And so this is High Vibe Health. This is going to be 5 days of about 10-minute master classes on tips, techniques, and upgrades for your healthcare this spring. So each day I'm going to focus on a different subtopic on how to raise the vibration of your health. And so if that topic is really esoteric and doesn't mean anything to you, let me give you a metaphor. So the metaphor is, let's say I lead a choir. Some of you know this, that I'm also a singer, and I lead a choir. And think about vibration. Voice is an example of vibration. So when you hit a note, you're at a certain vibration. Now, if there's one person who is, let's say you are singing with 2 people, and one person is off key. They're not quite hitting the note. They're a little flat or a little sharp. It's harder for the 2 people to make the song sound good, right? Let's say you have 5 people, and 4 of them are on key and 1 of them's off key. The beautiful thing is what happens is that the 5th person starts to feel the resonance of the other 4 people, and it really helps them to climb and find that place of equilibrium and meet that vibration. So for most of us, there are places in our health where you're already on a high vibration. And I work with health, holistic health. It's all health. It's all food. There's financial health. There's skin health. There's gut health. There's home health. There's relationship health, right? So there's creativity health. I see all of that as health. So most likely there are places in your health system right now, your health situation, that are vibrating at a really beautifully high level, and you're feeling really good about them. And then there's probably places where you're feeling like, okay, this is a place that's a dip and could use some work. It It could be that singer who's a little off key and like needs to rise up and like find the note and hold the line with the rest of the chorus, right? So that's what we're going to work on in these next couple days, is figuring out, first of all, today's class is really about choosing, assessing, and focusing so that we can figure out where the areas are in your life that are resonating at a lower vibration, and then how to start making the plan to lift those up. Because when you lift up one area, the other areas come with it. It is like the choir, you know, the more people you bring online, the easier it is for the whole group to hold the perfect pitch, right? So that's what we're going for here. So today, let's dive in. We're going to talk about choice, assessment, and focus. So raising our vibration, having a better attitude, having more positivity, feeling like we're succeeding, right? Feeling like we are, and even when we're not succeeding, even if we think we're failing, we actually don't see it as failures, we see it as opportunities to learn. So all of that I think of as high vibration, right? It's raising our frequency, our vibration on the planet. So number one in this process is to make the choice that is what you are doing. It is a very conscious daily decision. It is a strong intention. And my dear brother Skylar, shout out to Skylar, who works with me at Yoga Soup, he pointed out to me recently that he was like, intention. What does that word even mean? It's like you're inside of tension. Who wants to be inside of tension? And I thought about it and I realized, like, yeah, it's true. In order to have a strong intention, you are in tension because you are going against the grain of probably what you're used to. So it's not necessarily that you are in the tension of the world. More often it's that you are in the tension of your own mind and your own belief system and what you thought was possible. Like, we hold ourselves in these tiny little boxes when really we're infinite beings. So yes, you are in tension, you are setting intentions, you're making a daily choice. So that's step one, is just acknowledging for yourself, waking up each day, you know, maybe it's even for 3 days in a row, just challenging yourself and saying, today, my intention, I'm stepping into intention and I am making the decision that every moment that I possibly can, I'm going to choose the higher vibration. I'm going to call myself out when I'm stressing out. I'm going to call myself out when I'm worrying. I'm going to call myself out when I'm in doubt, and just recognize, hey, that's a lower vibration and I'm working on raising the vibe here. High vibe health. That's what I'm working towards. So that's number one. Choice, freedom in choice. Own it, love it, live it. Number two is assess. So we have to assess where we are in order to see the places where we need work. My favorite tool for this is called the Circle of Life, and I will put a cyber link where you can do this online. But I got this nifty little tool from the Institute for Integrative Nutrition, where I am a graduate from. And I'll just zoom in so you can kind of see this beautiful wheel. I love it because, you know, it's rainbow and it's fun. You get to like put a marker to a page, which, let's be honest, usually we're on the computer. I will put a computer digital version of this so you can do it afterward. So check out comments below afterward. But essentially, this is a really cool exercise where you assess, you look at all these different areas of your life: spirituality, creativity, finances, health, physical activity, home cooking, relationships. It goes on. There's more I didn't name. And you put a dot kind of as to indicate your satisfaction level or your dissatisfaction level. And from there, you connect the dots and you draw this beautiful circle, and you're able to really have like a visual representation of what often looks like a really wonky star or a Pac-Man or a Pac-Woman figure. So it gives you a really visual sense of where I feel like I'm killing it, where I feel like I'm succeeding, and where I feel like I'm failing or falling short. So assessment is number 2. It's really important to know where you are in order to know where you want to go, which brings us to step 3, which is focusing on where you want to go. So now that you know, let's say, home cooking and finances and intimacy and hydration, and like your nourishment, let's say those are your places that are feeling a little bit lower vibration, then you have some specific areas to say, okay, now I've got focus and I know that areas A, B, and C are the places where I want to work for the next couple months. I want to focus my energy there. So from there, you have specificity, you have clarity, and then you can create a system to move into that. So here's a couple tools. So just to review, that was choice, that was assessment, and that was focus. So that's step 1, 2, and 3 into raising the vibration. So once you've done that, then that brings us into the areas of your life that you want to raise the vibe. So of course that's going to be different for each of us, and for the rest of the week I'm going to go through some of those general arenas and give you some of my personal favorite tools, tips, and techniques for doing that on a daily, weekly, monthly, annual basis. Right now I'm going to give you 3 general tools that I really recommend for generally setting this standard, raising the bar, and setting yourself up for success in this journey to high vibe health. So number 1 is make sure you've got a morning ritual. This is absolutely non-negotiable, like mandatory. This is mandatory. If you're gonna raise your vibration anywhere in your life, honestly, how you start the day dictates the rest of your day. So having a morning ritual is crucial. Now, what that looks like, of course, can be totally different. You could have a meditation practice, which I highly recommend. I love Insight Timer. It's free. It's an app. It's accountability. It keeps track. Love it. Try it. You could try a morning water ritual, which I have a morning water meditation that I'd love to offer you. It's a guided meditation with beautiful music that I made, that my beautiful Ben helped me to make. So I'll put that in the comments below if you want to check it out. You could do some sort of journaling technique, which I also really recommend. It could be a gratitude journal. It could be a freestyle, sort of free thinking, no editing, no predetermination morning pages, kind of a la The Artist's Way. So any of those are really fabulous morning rituals. It can be anything, but the point is that you do it with intention and you do it consistently. Okay, and it brings you focus. It brings you back to that self. It brings you to your deeper self. Whatever this morning ritual is, it has to be meaningful to you. Number 2 is, and I touched on a journal, but this is more specifically having some sort of accountability tool where you are keeping track of what you're doing and how it's working for you, and the things that you want to be doing, what you're actually doing, and sort of feedback for yourself. So my favorite current tool is called the Best Self Journal. This thing has been life-changing for me. I love it so much. I'll show you the inside page so that you know. Accept no imitators. Self Journal. It's made by the Best Self Company. They're about $30 a piece. They're 90-day journals, and they're amazing. And shout out to one of my very high vibe mentors, Monica Shaw, who turned me on to the Self Journal. And essentially, you pick 3 goals over 90 days, and it like drills them into your head every day. You're celebrating your wins. You're learning from your learnings, your opportunities for learning. So Best Self Journal is amazing. If that isn't for you, I have a client who we were working through what her focuses are right now, and her focuses were eating healthier, anti-inflammatory diet specifically, getting exercise. She had some specific exercises that she wanted to be doing weekly, and then painting. She's a painter, and she wanted to make sure that she's making time to paint. So instead of going out and getting a tool like the Self Journal, what we did is I helped her kind of lay out this idea, and she had her husband help her make a Google Sheets or an Excel document that had the days of the week across the top and the those categories across the bottom, so that she can plan throughout the week. She can do it once a week and plan out where everything's going to go, and then she can assess that at the end of the week and like circle the things she did, highlight the things she didn't do, make notes, and use that to do it again the next week. So having some sort of accountability tool is so crucial, you guys and gals. So crucial, honestly. If we just have these goals and dreams and visions and desires, but there is no way that we are grounding it in reality, it's not going to happen, of course. And then number 3 is to find a buddy or a coach to help you, right? Because we don't need to do anything on our own. We don't need to do this on our own. And if you really want to raise your vibe, if you want high vibe health for now and the rest of your life, really the best way to do that is to give yourself some support. So that could look like, having your mom check in with you twice a week. It could be a text exchange with your best friend at once a morning, where you just send her something and tell her how you're doing. It could be hiring a coach like me or like anybody else that is a coach. There are many of us out there who can help keep you on track and who can give you resources, give you inspiration, give you feedback, help you through the mindset blocks that come up as you're moving, as you're pressing your vibration up. Because let's face it, when we start doing that, that's when we really hit all of our blocks, all of our stories, like all the old stuff that has held us back before, it's still there. So really the whole process of having, high vibrations is that we're going to face the shadow. We're going to face those blocks, and it's really, part of resonating at a higher frequency is embracing it and saying thank you and knowing that the resistance and the fear is the green light. That's where I know to keep going forward. And we're going to get into that later in the week. The last class I'm going to do on Friday is going to be all around that mindset topic. So thank you so much for joining me, and I hope that this was helpful for you. Choice, assessment, focus is part 1. I'll be back tomorrow at 4, and I will be talking about nourishment and how to raise the vibration in your nourishment. So thank you all so much. I will put the comments below for Circle of Life, for the best self journal, for my morning water meditation. And if any of this is resonant, and especially with nourishment and stress, I also have a group program that is starting this Wednesday. It's called Eat Here Now, and it is all around mindfulness and healing our relationship with food and feeling amazing in our body by the end of June. So know that it's possible. Know that I am here to support you, and sending you all so much love and high vibrations and high frequencies. And I look forward to being with you again tomorrow.